Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Julianne Duffy and welcome to Breathe Within Yoga. So we're going to get started today in a comfortable seated position. So get yourself on the floor, into a chair if you want for this first part, if you'd like, but then we're going to be on the floor for the whole time. So I'd recommend going on the floor. And let's get started. We're going to erect our spine. Core is strong, belly button to spine, pulling up on the pelvis. Deep breath in, let the torso expand, feel elongation through the spine as we take a deep, full breath in today. And then as we exhale, let's roll those shoulders down the spine, away from the ears, keeping our torso long and strong. Let's do that again. Another deep breath in. This time, let's let the shoulders come up towards the ears. Roll back. Let them go down the spine. One more time. Deep breath in. And exhale. Lengthening through the torso. Today, we're going to focus on a cooling breath. So keeping our strong core, we're elongated, we're going to come into this cooling breath. So there's a couple ways you can do this, and I'm going to show you the different ways, and then choose what is most comfortable. Now, the first way, and the traditional way of doing the cooling breath, is you're going to curl your tongue and breathe through your tongue as if it's a straw. So it looks like this. And then you exhale through your nose. So you're just sucking up the air through your curled tongue. Now, if you don't know how to do that, that's okay, don't worry. Your other option is you're gonna gently let your teeth touch. So your teeth just gently touch, and you're gonna breathe in through the teeth and then exhale through the nose as well. So you'll just feel that cooling sensation, breathing it in through the teeth that are just gently touching. So you're not gonna make quite as much of a sound. I don't know if you could hear the other one, but it's gently the teeth touch, and it's gonna look like this. And then exhale through the nose. Okay? So choose whatever you prefer. If you can curl your tongue, go into the traditional cooling breath. I'm going to do them with you with the traditional style, curling the tongue. Or let those teeth gently touch and breathe in through the teeth gently touching. So we're going to do a few rounds of that. So you can lengthen again, make sure your core is still strong. Sitting up tall, you can close the eyes or gently find something non-moving to gaze at. And let's get ready. We're going to exhale, prepare, inhale. Let the breath go through the nose. Releasing. Doing that again, coming through our inhale. Exhale through the nose. Another beautiful cooling breath. Exhaling, inhale. Let go through the nose. Let's do one more round right now. And let that go through the nose. Just notice how you feel. Notice how it is called the cooling breath, and you should have noticed some kind of cooling sensation as it comes through, either through the curled tongue or through the teeth into the back of the throat and then out through the nose. Very relaxing. So now that we feel a little bit more at ease, a little more centered, let's continue moving today. So we're going to come right to all fours and into our cat and cow to get warmed up. So bringing ourselves to all fours. Knees under the hips, hands spread nice and wide, wrists under the shoulders, toes can be flat or tucked. When you're ready, drop the belly, deep breath in, the top of the head comes towards the ceiling, imagining you can touch your tailbone, and then as we exhale, rounding the chin to the chest, releasing. Close those eyes or keep them open, whatever feels good as we get all the movement going into the spine today. Follow the exhale, release. Deep inhale, feel the torso expand through this breath. The shoulders come away from the ears. And then we let it all go. Let's do that 2 more times. Deep, full breath. Belly expands. Feel the breath come into the entire torso. Feel the stretch into the spine. And then as we exhale, we let that all go chin to chest, rounding everything, letting that go. Perfect. We're going to gaze over our right shoulder towards our right hip today. Imagine we can see our tail stretching through the side. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, we'll gently gaze over the other side. And then we're going to inhale, coming back through center. So from all fours, we're going to bring our right foot forward. So we're going to bring our right foot forward. Between our hands, we want the heel under the knee, and it might take a couple of movements to get there. That's okay. Once we're here, torso is balanced over the right thigh. We place the hands onto the floor. They can be tented as well if they don't come quite flat. The left toes, we'll have them tucked under for right now. The knee is on the floor. If you need some extra padding, grab a blanket, a pillow, something, and go under your knee to give that a little bit of comfort if there's any issues with your knee or if it's just, hard surface and it's a little more comfortable. Hips are square, so we're gonna feel the stretch right into the hip flexor. Now to make it a little more challenging, if you wanna go a little deeper, our left toes, we're gonna start to lift the knee slightly off the floor, and then we're gonna curl those toes under just a little bit, letting them go further away from us, so towards the back of our mat, and then let that knee come back down. We still wanna try to keep that right knee over the right ankle, and you're just gonna feel that deep into the hip flexor. Let's take a deep breath here. Inhale. And then as we exhale, we're gonna start to come up. So we're gonna gently bring our hands onto our thighs, starting to bring our torso up. We're tucking our tailbone as we open through the front of the body. And then the hands can start to rotate towards the ceiling. Deep breath in, elongate. Even deeper stretch into that hip flexor, into the hip, back, leg. Deep breath in. And then follow the exhale, let the torso come forward, and we're gonna walk that right foot out to the long edge of the mat, coming into that butterfly winged dragon. So what we're gonna do is come onto the pinky side of the foot. The knee starts to open up towards the long edge of the mat. So from here, as long as the foot is active, as if we're stepping on the floor, and I'll show you what it looks like from this view. I'll go back into the right position, but you'll see you're on your side of your foot, and the knee just slightly opens to the side. And only going as far as it's comfortable. We want no tingly electrical pressure, anything in the knee. There is no knee openers. We do not want to do that. And then the hands are going to be spread wide, wrists under the shoulder, under the chest. And we'll just stay here again, just feeling that deeper stretch, maybe the more into the hip flexor on the right side this time, the hips, the glutes, all that beautiful area. Let's take a deep breath in. If there's space, you can exhale and start to bend the elbows. Maybe start to bring your torso towards the floor. Maybe you can get on your forearms. Maybe you can come flat to the mat. Just take where you want to go. Another deep, full breath. Let that go. Another inhale. And then slowly on the exhale, we're going to bring ourselves up. We'll start to bring that right foot back to the starting position. And we're just going to elongate through that right leg today. So we're going to keep the right foot flat to begin with. We're going to start to stretch through the front of the foot, through the ankle. And then we're going to start to lengthen through the leg without locking the knee. We're sitting back, bringing our seated bones back towards our foot, but we're going to keep our foot flat. So we're only going to go back as far as we can keep our foot onto the mat. Feel that stretch into the ankle, maybe into the back of the leg, front of the leg. And then as we exhale, let those toes come up as we sit back. Feel that stretch. We just want to feel a beautiful stretch into the back of the leg. We'll take another deep breath here. Let that exhale. Imagine you got a little bit of space here. And then on our inhale, we'll gently bring the right foot back. Hands on either side of the right foot. We'll curl those left toes under as we step the right foot back. We'll bring that right knee to the mat. We'll step our left foot forward. We're going to do the same on the opposite side. Again, grab your blanket, pillow, or anything if you need it under the right knee. Our hips are square. The knee of the left foot is over the ankle. And then we come right from here. Deep breath in, keeping those hips level. Now, if you want to go a little deeper, you can tuck those right toes under, scooch them back, and then let that knee drop a little further away. So you're getting a little deeper into that hip flexor. Deep breath in, Strong core, belly button to spine, pulling up on the pelvis. Deep breath in. Exhale. Finding that space, imagining you've got a little more space. Oh, let that exhale go. Perfect. Let's bring our torso up. Let's take that. Let's bring ourselves up. Hands can come onto the thighs, opening through the torso. You can bring the hands on the hips or start to rotate them towards the ceiling. Again, another wonderful breath, deep breath in. And then exhale, let the torso come forward. The hands will come on the inside of the left foot and we'll walk that left foot out to the long edge of the mat. So we'll do that winged dragon on this side. So the foot is active, the toes and the knee are in at the same angle, making sure that, again, there's no discomfort in the knee. Fingers spread wide as the wrists are under the shoulders as we let that leg open up. So maybe it opens, we let it kind of drop a few times. And then once we found that perfect space, we're just gonna hold it here. Again, deep full inhale, let the torso expand. If there's space and you want to go deeper, exhale, let yourself come onto your forearms. Or even just bend your arms a little bit, just bringing yourself a little deeper, a little closer to the mat. If you can come flat to the mat onto your belly, you are welcome to. But we're always mindful of our knee. We don't want to force anything. And this can be a deep stretch into the hips, the glutes, the back, legs, everywhere. So just go where your body feels the best opening this morning, afternoon, evening. Let's take another deep breath in here. And then as we exhale, let's bring that left foot flat to the mat. Once again, coming to its starting position. And we're going to stretch out. So we're going to start to lengthen back, keeping the foot flat to the mat. So start to stretch through the ankle. Sitting back, pushing that seated bone back towards the back of our mat. Hands on either side, feel a beautiful stretch here. Another deep, full breath. And then as we exhale, we'll start to bring those toes off the floor. Maybe imagine the toes can come back towards the shin as we feel that stretch into the hamstring, the calf, the back of the leg. Again, mindful of our knee as we come and bring those seated bones back just a bit. The right toes can be tucked to help support. We're trying to keep our hips square, kind of forward as well. Another breath here. Let that go. One more breath. And then as we exhale, let that foot come flat to the mat. The hands on either side. Let's step that foot back. Let's come through a child's pose. So opening those knees as wide as the mat. Let the seated bones go back. Let the hands come forward, extending. Deep breath in. So as we inhale, we feel the torso expand with that beautiful deep breath. And then as we exhale, we imagine we've got a little more space to sink, release into. Let's do that 2 more times. Another deep, full breath. Slow, gentle exhale. Another inhale. And then as we exhale, let's push ourselves away from the floor, coming up through. And let's come to seated once again. And we're going to come into a Baddha Konasana. So coming back to our glutes. If you want, you can have sit on something or just move the flesh away from the seated bones. Let the bottoms of the feet touch. Let the knees open as we sit up tall, lengthening through the torso. Hands around can grab the ankles. We elongate through the spine, strong core. Again, belly button spine pulling up on the pelvis. Deep breath in. And then as we exhale, we're going to start to gently fold forward, but we're trying to keep our spine long to begin with. So keeping those seated bones grounded, our spine is straight like a piece of wood. We can't bend it. It's not a branch that can bend. Or a new branch. It's a piece of strong wood that has to be straight. So we're going to imagine all our bending is coming right from our hips. Let's take another deep, full breath, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, imagine you can bend just a tiny bit more here through the hips, trying to prevent the rounding of the upper back and spine. And then as we exhale, let yourself melt forward. This time the spine can round, the chin to chest. Maybe let that elbow push against the legs away from us as we release completely. Let's take another deep, full breath in. Let the torso completely expand. And then let that go. Following your breath for just a few more moments. Feels beautiful. Stretch into the groins, the hip, back, all those areas as we let ourselves completely release for these last few moments here. And then slowly let yourself come away from your feet, sitting up tall. So now what you can do, you can come back to a cross-leg position if you prefer, or a kneeling position, whatever is more comfortable, or just sit on your glutes, legs can be forward. We're gonna stretch into our triceps. So let's come through to a seated position, whichever one you choose to do. And we're gonna start with our right arm. We'll let our right hand come towards the ceiling. And then we're gonna bend at the elbow, letting the right hand come behind us, and see if we can maybe touch our shoulder. And then we're gonna try to get that right elbow so it's pointing towards the ceiling. So with the left hand, we can gently assist, maybe pushing onto the tricep a little bit to help get the right elbow towards the ceiling. The shoulder is away from the ears. Deep breath in. Exhale. Another option, you can gently bring that left hand right over the head and then gently encourage the elbow and the arm down towards the shoulder. Again, we're not forcing anything into any of the joints. We're just using the arm to assist. Keeping the chest open, shoulders away from the ears. Let that stretch go. Oh, imagine those fingers can get a little further towards the shoulder blade or maybe down the shoulder blade. On the inhale, we'll slowly release the right arm. Take a moment, shake it out, and let's do the other side. So left arm, the hand is reaching towards the shoulder blade, the elbow is pointing towards the ceiling. If this is enough and you're feeling a beautiful stretch, stay right here. Now you've got a couple options, like I showed before. You can easily just bring the right hand in front and gently encourage the left elbow towards the ceiling. Or you can bring the left hand above, the right hand above, and then gently encourage the elbow towards the ceiling as well, grabbing around kind of the tricep area. Deep breath in. Let that breath go. Another inhale. Sitting up tall, feel that beautiful opening into the shoulder, arm. And then as we exhale, let that go. Release the arm. Take a moment, shake it out. Perfect. Let's come through a couple of our bridge poses again today. So we're going to come to lying on our mat, feet flat. We're going to rock our right and our left shoulder under. Let the chest be open. Let the arms be supported by the floor as we gently lift those hips up, coming into kind of that perfect plank from the knees to the chin. The chin is slightly tucked. The shoulders are rocked under. Deep inhale. And exhale. Now the hands are either flat to the mat, or you can interlace those hands right under kind of where the tailbone is where you can interlace those hands or grab the hands. If there's even more space, you can even grab the wrists, kind of whatever feels appropriate. Keep those shoulders rocked under. The chin is tucked, the spine is long. Inhale. Exhale. On this next inhale, if you want a little challenge, maybe bring those heels off the floor, coming onto those tippy toes. And gently let those heels come back to the floor. We'll release the hands. Let them come back out to the sides. Come down vertebrae by vertebrae. Hug those knees into the chest. Draw a few circles onto the ceiling. Let's do one more bridge pose. So we'll let those feet come to the mat. Rock the right and the left shoulder under. Let those hips come up. Interlace those hands under the lower back if there's some space. Deep full breath in. And out. Another inhale. And again, if you want to add a little bit of going on the tippy toes for this last moment, you're welcome to. And then as we exhale, we'll just let that all go. Hug those knees into the chest. Perfect. Let's come to twist. So bringing our hands either to cowboy surrender, that's at 90 degrees, or out to a T, so they're just straight out, whatever you prefer. We're gonna drop our knees to the right as we gaze over towards the left. So the right hand can come to the top of the left leg if you'd like to take it deeper. So we gently gaze over the other shoulder. Let's come through that deep breath again. Inhaling and exhaling. Another inhale. As the exhale comes, imagine go a little deeper into this twist for these last few moments here. As we exhale, gently release that right hand. Use those core muscles to assist belly button to spine, pulling up in the pelvis to come back through center. And then we're going to drop the knees to the left as we gaze over the right. Again, cowboy surrender, 90 degrees, or arms straight out. The left hand can gently come to the top of the right thigh if there's space and it feels good. Let's take those deep breaths. Once again, another deep full inhale. Slow, gentle exhale. Another inhale. Notice where the breath goes. Take that moment and opportunity to breathe space into the side of the body. And then let that go. Wonderful stretch into the shoulders, the upper back. And then as we exhale, we're going to use those core muscles once again. Belly button to spine, pulling up with the pelvis. Use those core muscles to assist. Come back through center. You can rock it out if you'd like. And we're going to make our way into lying savasana. So just coming to the mat. Your knees can be bent. You can actually let your knees fall in, feet open up. You can let the knees just come straight out, feet flopping to the sides, rocking the right and the left shoulder under. Let the back of the hands be supported. Chin can be tucked. And we're going to do the cooling breath again. We're going to do 5 more rounds before we go into our savasana. So from here, just preparing with either our teeth gently touching or the curled tongue. We're going to breathe in through our teeth or our tongue. Exhale through our nose. We're going to do that 5 times. We'll prepare, releasing on this next exhale. Let's go through our inhale. Exhale through the nose. Another inhale. Slowly exhale through the nose. Release through the nose. Last inhale. And release. Let that breath go. Notice how you feel. Notice where your state of mind is, your body. How does everything feel at this moment, this opportunity, after doing those movements and that breath? And whatever we notice, just let that be absorbed. Let that sink within you. Just letting it resonate, knowing that we can always create this energy whenever we come to this practice and to the floor. And over the next few moments, we'll just let all those thoughts and observations float away with our exhale. So as we see that exhale start to take those things, whatever's come into our thoughts and observations, letting them gently float away with the exhale. And then we'll gently float away to stillness for these next few moments. slowly we'll start to come back to our body, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Start to stretch any way that feels good, just mindful of your space and the things around you. And we'll gently make our way over to our right, coming into recovery. Take this next breath. Notice how you feel. Let that feeling of relaxation and stillness just sit and resonate. And we'll slowly, over the next breath, make our way up to a comfortable seated position. And when we're here, we'll take one final breath, reaching those arms overhead. Let the hands touch, thumbs point towards heart center as we bring them into prayer pose. And we thank ourselves for taking this opportunity to practice once again at the mat. Namaste. Thank you for joining me again with Breathe Within Yoga. I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and until next time, stay grounded. Namaste.